mention, this building is a joint venture between Old Mutual and First Rand Bank. It's owned in two sections. We own one section, Old Mutual owns the other section, and we work extremely well with them. Today I'm just presenting on the First Rand side of it, but I'm going to touch on the overall concept and project as well. But Old Mutual is really doing well with their side too. So let me just go back. At the bottom you'll see all the different brands of the First Rand group. So you all know FNB and RMB and Westbank, and Ashburton is our new investment arm. Very much like Allan Gray or Coronation, the investment and savings arm of the group. So just why did we do this investment? Because people often wonder about that. So First Rand had 22 different offices across the Cape Metropole. And that's a function of our culture. We've got a very owner-manager culture. So everyone runs it like it's his own business. And that sounds good on the one side, but on the other side, it means everyone flies around from Joburg and selects a new building that he likes a little bit better, and then they put their office in that building. So when we woke up one morning, we had 22 offices across the Cape Metropole. We didn't own a single one. We paid rent to other landlords. There was no branding on most of them. It just didn't make any sense. We had to send couriers to the different buildings to get everything done. So we said, listen, let's consolidate into two buildings basically, which is the one at Tiger Valley called Willowbridge and Portside on this side. And then part 3 of the strategy is Stellenbosch that we'll get to soon, hopefully. But important also, in 2010 when we started the exercise, the market was at the bottom of the cycle. Think about that. Other than stadiums, there was no other buildings being built. And we looked at 14 different projects of this size before we chose this one. So it was really at the bottom of the cycle. It was the right time to invest. So financially it made sense, but it was also the right thing to do for the city and the country to help kickstart a revival, hopefully, of the construction industry. So just a little bit about Portside and why it's called Portside and why there, and why here. So firstly it's Portside because it's literally on the side of an old port that was built in the 1800s, from the Janssen Riebeeck line to the 1800s. So we're on the mainland, not in a sink into the sea, not on reclaimed land. And then if you look at that picture there, so we looked at the new convention center here behind us, that site, because that was actually a cheaper site. We could go for that side as well. But for various reasons, we were not sure about that. And at the other 14 projects we looked at, we were a little bit confused. So we met with the Cape Town Partnership. Andrew Borain was quite instrumental in advising us on the project. So he said, look, for 350 years, Adderley Street has been a dividing line in Cape Town. Everything to the left of your picture was government land. The castle, the parade, the barracks, the station, Grote Kerk, the Group Centre, all government land. That skyline has hardly changed in 350 years. And then private sector and public sector meet at the end of the road in Parliament. That's the design of the city. So stick with the plan, come to this side of the road, which makes a lot of sense to us. So we did, and I think that picture really shows how well it fits into the city overall. And then some interesting numbers that you guys also like. There were 44 professional firms that worked on the project, very ably led by Derek Henstra's firm DHK and Louis Carroll Architects. And 3,000 jobs were created during the construction process, another 1,500 indirectly, and some very interesting window cleaners that I'm going to talk to you a lot about a bit later. 35 floors, 30,000 square meters of glass, the single most expensive part of the contract, 120 million rand. It was assembled by a firm called Mazors out there in Brackenfell, also one of our clients. The lifts take 15 seconds. In such a high building, our staff was very concerned. Will we not wait for the lifts very long? It takes 15 seconds from top to bottom. 3,000 people can be in the building, work there. 22 showers and 200 lockers for people cycling to work. And you won't believe that they're already cycling to work, even in winter. Many parking bays for electric cars. I think 2 speakers ago spoke about clients not giving a clear brief to construction companies and architects and so on. I think it's important. We spend hours and hours and months talking to the professional team to help us think and brainstorm, and we learned a lot from them. How should we build this building? So the first thing we said is, if you invest in something like this, it should last for 30 years. In fact, it should last forever, because it's going to be part of the skyline. So we took a lot of advice from different parties to help us design this. The previous buildings we moved out, we've been in for a couple of years, and they were sort of working. But if you're going to custom design something, make sure it works. It works perfectly. Also make sure it's future-proof. So the way the building is designed right now is that the lifts between us and Old Mutual can open on all the floors, but it doesn't. As in future we buy their section or they go to our section, we can literally just open the lift doors and we can grow the building into all the floors. So it's future-proof for growth as the bank grows in future. We wanted to own the building. There was lots of interesting financial considerations. We want to show that we have a presence in town, and that was part of the key message. We want to show we're investing in South Africa, not in London or other places. We're investing in this city because we believe in the growth of this city. We're investing in this industry because we think it's a key industry in South Africa. And we want to be green, not only as a building, but as a company in the way we live and operate and do things. And then all the other normal requirements. So you can imagine this is quite a challenge for any architect and any bunch of professional people to get this done. There's just some interesting pictures of after it was all done, we started to grow our brands. It's quite a challenging exercise to get that all done. And then very important, we want to make this building work for the people of Cape Town. It should never become a corporate cold head office. It should be a dynamic place where things are happening, because that's Cape Town. People are part of the city, they enjoy their city, they live in their city. So we said, firstly, create a top floor for everyone. People will be able to visit that place when we have functions, clients come in there and use it. So we've created a space there that I'll show you in a second. It's a bit like a lounge at the airport. Those of you know the slow lounge at the airport. As a client, you can go in there and free Wi-Fi and food and everything. So we're creating more and more of those lounges in Cape Town, Stellenbosch, Johannesburg, where our clients can use that as a place to come and work and see their clients again. We also want this precinct to work. Make sure that the financial district works, that all the coffee shops around us work, all the hotels are full, etc. So there's lots of events we're planning to use the building for events. One of the key events is called the Cape Town 12. It's 12 kilometers from Bloberg, up Long Street, down Breer, and then in front of Portside. Get the radio guys to stand on top of the building and comment as it's happening. Lots of cycling. We had 2 cycling workshops already, cycling in and around the city. Literally, in the last 8 weeks, we've had 3 events every week in the building as people start using the building, and that's really what we want to do. And then some other wild and wacky ideas, and forgive me if I sound really off the wall here of some of these things, but that's what we're planning. The first Thursday of every month, as you know, Cape Town is an open day. Art galleries are open, restaurants are open till late. So we want to say to our clients, come and park in our building, and we'll have an art exhibition there on the 8th floor and exhibit art of Cape Town. Give the different galleries all a chance to exhibit their art. Then there's the staircase runners. They run up the stairs of the tallest building in every city. So they asked us for Portside, we said, cool. And they're going to run up the stairs, but they want to go down the lifts. We said, no, you run down. Don't be lazy. But we're going to bet on them, like racehorses, and donate the money to charity. Some charity that works in the city. There's a guy called Alain Robert. He's a Frenchman. He's called the Human Spider. He wants to climb the building. So the city said yes. We said yes, but he must wear a rope, according to the city. So fine, we can wear a rope, and he's going to climb the building. And that will be quite an interesting thing to do. I don't know how he's going to do it, because it's all flush with grouting and so on, but he says he can do it. We've got a piano on the 8th floor. Spinning blenders is a crowd that has bicycles. They put on all the balconies and get outside. And while you spin, there's a blender next to you that makes a smoothie while you're spinning. So we'll do a bit for fitness in the city. It attracts some attention. The window cleaners are interesting. It's a company called SkySight. They work mainly under oil rigs, clean oil rigs. Or as they say, anything that hangs from a rope, except the death penalty. They do. And they use Portside and other buildings as a training ground for the window cleaners. And after a year, they send them out to the oil rigs on the coast of Angola, Nigeria, etc. So, in a very strange way, Portside is helping to upskill people and create a new industry of people cleaning windows and going out into the oil service industry to clean oil rigs. There's 8 people, they clean 365 days a year. If it's daylight to day, they clean inside. But they've probably been the most photographed part of Portside, these window cleaners. So we said, well, let's get them suits of Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, etc. The point is to make it interesting for the people of Cape Town. It shouldn't just be a construction site, just a building. It should be a place where it comes alive. And as I said, they bring us more ideas. We need more ideas of what we can do with the building. Derek's going to tell you a lot about the construction and the whole design of the overall project. But I'll probably share some of the international design features that we used inside the building with our office layout. We've got some consultants from London to help us with bit of that to make sure that we are on par with the best buildings in New York, in London, and Shanghai, and so on. So it's all open plan. As far as possible, we avoid having any offices. I even sit in a cubicle like everyone else. Mobility throughout the building. You've got a laptop with Wi-Fi throughout the building. You can plug it anywhere. And it's the same Wi-Fi whether you walk into our offices in Nigeria or Johannesburg or India. Very transparent. You can see in, we can see out. We also collaborate a lot with other buildings around the world. So lots of video conference throughout the building. And small video conferencing. We're just one person in the room and you can talk to our buildings in other parts. It's a bit of Google meets banking. So I would have got one of those slides that go to the Google offices where you slide down to the next floor. They didn't allow that, but they gave us very funky bean bags we can sit on. That's as close as we got. Then important, on the top floor, we've got this work cafe. Because people don't sit at their desks very long anymore. They actually walk around. So for half an hour, they want to sit in a different space. And then normally they go and sit in coffee shops. So we said, let's bring the coffee shop inside. The work cafe is an interesting, funky space with different areas where you can sit and work. Some of it is team areas, some of it's private areas. You can just, there's an area I call the vryhokkies, smooch corners. It's very private. We have to check all the time. But it's interesting, different spaces to sit and work in. And that's the place we want to make available to our clients as well. So you can also come in there if you're an FNB client and work there. You can see your clients there. The war room, I don't know how many of you have seen these war rooms. You don't sit at tables, it's high tables. Facilitator stands in the middle. He's at eye height, so nobody can play on the laptop because there's the key in the eye right there. And because you stand, the meeting only takes 20 minutes. Because nobody can stand for long. So that guy always wants to have his voice heard. They kill him quite quickly there, because you can't meet for too long. The next one will be a ballroom. You know these big gym balls that you sit on? Women have it. Your Pilates on it. So we won't have chairs, we'll have balls that you sit on. And it's also quite difficult if you don't talk very long. The women love that room, so they use that room quite a lot. And then the restaurant is for clients and staff. So bring your clients there and pop in and see your private banker and your forex dealer, etc. There's a wellness center with a physio and a doctor and a psychologist and a biokineticist that comes in all the time. Decompression areas if you get stressed, and then scrum areas is the new big thing. Instead of a formal meeting room, sometimes I just want to talk to one person. So there's an area in the middle of the open plan where you pop up a screen, put your spreadsheet on there, discuss the details, and everyone can hear what you're saying. But you sort out the issue right there, and it's transparent, everyone can understand, and they all learn from the discussion, and you sit back at your desk. So it's not a formal meeting room. That's just some of the interior. I grabbed this out of a Sapoa press release, it's coming out soon. So that's the 8th floor, you can see the piano there on the left. It's ideal for, the acoustics are actually great. I must say, I didn't think about acoustics when we designed it, but it works very well. So you can have lots of fun stuff there. That's just some of the decompression areas. The work cafe there at the top. Meeting rooms, and the war room comes in on the right. And then interesting how the staff lifted their own game because of the spaces that's so different and so professional. Suddenly they all act different in how they work. These are just more views of the view, in fact, because we wanted to celebrate Cape Town and celebrate the great views of Cape Town. The windows work very well because it saves money on electricity, and aircon also saves lots of decor and paintings and wallpaper that we don't have to pay for. And that's my story, and it's really great to share that with you. We also finance a lot of buildings, and I think it's important that when we give this message, it's not only investing. We also put our money behind lots of clients investing in commercial property outside of the listed sector, not the growth points of the world. The normal mid-corporates or normal businesses investing in property, we say it's a good time to invest. Talk to us, we'll help you finance that. In fact, we invest in property ourselves.